Cancer, it's me, Gregory Scott. Thank you for joining me today. It's a real pleasure to be with you. I'm going to give you a really in-depth forecast of your astrology for August 2015. I'll give you some key dates to look out for. And with that said, I'm going to get started straight away. So the first thing that occurs is that Venus, the planet of love, the goddess of love, goes into Leo in your second house. Okay, so Venus has been in Virgo for the last couple of weeks, and Venus really doesn't particularly appreciate that. Virgo is very dry, it's very detail oriented, and it doesn't enjoy itself. It's much more about organizing things, okay? Venus in Leo is much more enjoyable, it's much more passionate, it's much more able to frolic and to enjoy itself and to really kind of let loose. So that really kind of sets the scene for August, and it really starts things up already. And that happens in your second house of finances, okay? So immediately there's an increased amount of positivity, an increased amount of love, and positive fun, detached kind of enjoyable energy in conjunction with your finances. So I really think there's a good start to your finances at the beginning of the month. I think you hit the ground running and your finances start to look much more attractive to you, okay, to put it another way. There's also a T-square that happens on this day between Jupiter conjuncting Venus. So you've got love and good luck in your finance sector this month. And they connect with the moon in Aquarius in your 8th house of other people, and it kind of resolves itself with Saturn in the 5th. Okay, so for you to have financial success, it's by drawing on the Virgo energy that Venus has been in and enjoying that order and that structure that she created for you, and by really enjoying that structure. So Virgo isn't as bad as I've made her out to be, because she's created a lot of harmony in your financial life, and you can actually now enjoy the fruits, the goodness of that organization for the last couple of weeks. Okay, so you're going from strength to strength in terms of your finances, and you can actually enjoy those a little bit. Just don't overspend, but enjoy the freedom and enjoy the lack of pressure that's there right now. Now, on the 3rd of August, there's a grand trine in water in your chart, and a grand trine is an area of real talent, an area of real connection. And water is the intuition, it's your feelings, it's the way you understand the world via your intuition. And that's between your job that you do, your working self, what you do know and what you don't know, and how you can strengthen that. So I really think you have a very objective view of your own abilities and talents, Cancer, and that's good for you because Cancer can either be on either extreme. You can either think too little of yourself, or you can have a sense of grandiosity about your own abilities. But especially on the 3rd, it's a really good day to do an inventory of what you're good at and what you need to continue to work on, because it's not blighted, or it's not colored by self-esteem issues or arrogance or anything like that. You have a really clear picture of what you're good at and what you need to continue to work on. At the same time as well is Pluto is on the other side of your chart in your 7th house, and that's in retrograde, and it's been in retrograde since the 16th of April, and it continues to be in retrograde until the 24th of September. There's still 2 months to go, pretty much. And Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth. It kind of takes away and it gives new things. And when it's in retrograde, it's almost like a vacuum cleaner. It pulls negativity away. And I feel that you've been working at getting rid of some of your chaotic relationships and getting rid of some of that lack of structure in your relationship. And now you're at a point where you can feel much more at peace with the way you are with other people. That then gives you the time and the presence of mind to focus on the practical side of things and to grow your career, to grow your belongings, to grow your money. Because you're not clouded by firefighting. So for instance, if you've got a partner who's constantly phoning you up and bothering you and yelling at you and causing grief, it's going to take a lot of your energy, and you won't be as productive as you could be if you have harmonious relationships in your life. And I really see this as a time of harmony. On the 5th of August, the moon starts to trine So your ruler starts to trine Jupiter and Venus. And this is in the sector of your career and your money. Now, in July, I did a video on this. There was something called the Star of Bethlehem. Venus and Jupiter came together, and in the sky, when you looked at it, excuse me, it looked like one star. It was so bright, it looked like the Star of Bethlehem. It was really beautiful. And not only that, for you, Cancer, particularly, that Star of Bethlehem signaled hope and new beginnings in terms of your finances. On the 5th of August, those two aren't exactly the Star of Bethlehem anymore, but their energy astrologically is still impacting your chart. And it trines, it flows into all of the things that you're doing at work. You feel able to progress, you feel able to assert yourself, you feel able to do things your way. And this, for you, is a month of real financial growth, real career growth. It could be that the job improves first and then the money improves, or the money improves first and as a result of that, if you're on a commission sales job, then your career improves. But there's definite improvement in your financial working life at the beginning of August. So pleased for you, that's great news. On the 7th of August, the Sun starts to square the Moon, and the Sun is now also in your second house. You're totally focused on work, and with the Moon there, it's like night and day. It's like almost seeing both sides of the equation. It's duality, and you're seeing the positive, practical, increased finances, and you can also see how that's been a hope and dream, and how you are fulfilling your own hopes and dreams by taking action. So your own action is divinely guided, it's absolutely right at the moment, and because you're doing the right things at the right time, that's why you're having all of this success. So things are clicking into place for you very nicely. On the 8th, Mercury goes into Virgo, and that's in your 3rd house. So you become now, think of Virgo, Mercury going into Virgo, very, very happy first of all, because Mercury rules Virgo. And it also rules Gemini. So think of Gemini as the daytime and Virgo as the nighttime in terms of this rulership. And Virgo with Mercury is very clipped, very precise, very clear, very no nonsense, very unemotional. And that's in your 3rd house. So really this is a fabulous, fabulous time for you to write some checks, or to manage your bills, or to sign and put together contracts, for you to write a textbook. I wouldn't say it's so great to write a fantasy novel, but a textbook, something that has to be precise and clear, that the head mistress would approve of. That's what you're going to be good at, because you're going to be embodying that head mistress, Queen of Swords energy. There's also a Grand Cross occurring on this day, so you're going to feel quite busy. I think it's going to be between the lack of movement you feel in your romantic life right now. I think the joy and the success that you're having in your career, your real focus on using your skills and talents to help other people by expanding your horizon, by broadening. So I don't think you're so interested in romance at the moment. I think you're interested in learning, in understanding what went wrong in the past, by broadening your horizons, by traveling, by discovering new things, by being inspired by things in the world. It's like you're a sponge on this day, and you're literally just sucking in all of the information. Your ruler, the Moon, is in the 12th house in Gemini. So it's all about information. So your ruler is being ruled by Mercury, okay? So it's very, very, very communicative, and that's really what you're embodying around this time of the month. On the 9th, Mars goes into Leo, and that's in your 2nd house, so the drive for financial success, career success becomes even heightened, even more heightened, and Mars is the soldier. Mars is the ultimate man, you know, the man's man, who wants what he wants, and he gets what he wants, and he pursues it relentlessly. It's like the Terminator. And he's in Leo, and that makes him very fiery and very passionate about what he wants. Okay, so it's the soldier squared. That's in your 2nd house. So to attain, to make your physical, financial world work for you is so important. You're like the Gordon Gecko of the zodiac this month because your focus is really on the material, Cancer. You're really, really interested in making your financial life a very solid and successful and powerful a theme in your life. You've got 5 things in there. You've got your midheaven, Mars, the Sun, Venus, and Jupiter. 2 very, very benefic, positive planets, and then 2 very willful, very powerful, very driven planets. So that coming together is the luck of the universe and your drive, your desire coming together to create something. There's no way that you're not going to get more money, more ways, more opportunities of making money, making your financial life the way you want it to be in August. On the 11th of August, the moon starts to really connect in a positive way with Neptune. And I really think you get a message. And for you, Cancer, I think this is a feeling message that's going to resolve some of your issues. I want you to do an inner soul journey, or I want you to go on a trip on the 11th. It can be a trip in your mind, it can be a trip in the real world, but I wanted for you to have the kind of flavor of a pilgrimage, because you discover something about yourself on this day that will, if you've fallen out of love with the world or certain aspects of the world, you know, the world is a harsh place, terrible things happen all the time. If you've really lost your love for life, for the process of life, and I'm not saying every Cancer will have this experience, but some of you may, it's a great time to be given a gift to discover something about yourself that really makes you understand why you're going through this, why you're here on planet Earth, why you're experiencing this process of life, and it will restore your faith in magic, the magical process of life, rather than the mundane going through life, the daily suffering, the everyday grind of it. It will really change your perspective around and really give you that sense of this is a beautiful spiritual process, and I'm grateful to be part of it. So some sort of message or dream comes through and really re-inspires you on the 11th. On the 12th through until the 19th of August, Mercury starts to build a relationship with Pluto, and that's about, you're going to have the gift of the gab now starting the 12th through the 19th, and you're going to be able to talk your way out of situations or to fix situations through your words that have been very unpleasant. Especially people who've been mad at you, people who've been angry at you, people you may have done wrong. It's a great time to make amends. It's a great time to talk people round if you're that way inclined. That even if it's taken to the other extreme, it's about being able to manipulate people and getting them to think things the way you want them to think. On the same day, Jupiter goes into Virgo, and it stays there for a long time. It stays there until the 10th of September 2016, for a year. And Jupiter is in your 3rd house now in Virgo, and it means that I've done a separate video on Jupiter in Virgo. Have a look at that if you're interested. But Jupiter is the planet of good luck and good fortune, and your Jupiter, Cancer, is in the 3rd. So you access your luck by practically, in a practical sense, communicating and engaging with education, exchanging information, being critical to some extent, but by being precise and clear in terms of the way you talk and communicate. Get your message out there, and it taps into that ability to influence and to change, because you've got a really good grip and grasp on communication, and you've got the gift of the gab, like I said. Now, the 14th of August sees the new moon occur. The new moon is a period of planting new seeds, of putting your intentions out there. And lo and behold, it's in your 2nd house of finance in Leo. So you will have had quite a lot of financial success already, and now you're building on that success and looking at how you can make that even greater. And it connects in a quincux relationship to Chiron in your 9th. I think the success that you're having financially and career-wise at the moment really makes up for some of the things that you've been disappointed about. You haven't been able to travel the world, for instance, or you haven't had the education that you wanted. this level of success really makes that okay. You know, if you're thinking, oh, I would have done much better in life if I had a degree. Once you start to succeed, that thought will be altered because you're like, well, look, I've got all this money. Maybe I didn't need the degree. And it allows you to heal that thought. And that's the kind of energy I get around the new moon for you. On the 15th, Jupiter starts to oppose Neptune until the 13th of October, so 2 months. And this is interesting because you start to near the kind of communicator that you want to be and you always dreamt of being and thought you could be. So you start to actually reach your potential in terms of the way you are now communicating. For you, Cancer, I don't know, but if you've thought of writing a book or doing a podcast or starting your own radio show or doing your own YouTube channel, something like that, August, especially the 15th of August, is a fab time to start that, and that opposition between Neptune and Jupiter will last until the 13th of October. So you're really going to be at the height of your powers in terms of realizing the dreams of how you want to communicate. If you've been going to a public speaking association like Toastmasters or something, you will make huge leaps and bounds and huge progress in that area of your life. Anything to do with communication is fab. 18th of August, the moon is now in Libra, and that connects very nicely with Mars and your midheaven, which are in the second. On this day, I really think you get a positive message from one of your family members who tells you something that will help you take your career and your money-making pizzazz that you've got at the moment even further. It'll be like a bing moment of inspiration. Someone may say something in passing, or someone may say something explicitly that's really going to help you along. On the 20th, the moon is connected with your ascendant, and you feel very romantic now on the 20th. I think you feel very, but it almost has a manipulative feel to it. It's almost like you're entitled to love on this day. I think you may become a little bit demanding. Well, okay. I think it could be a great day to be a little bit kinky even. I mean, if you're into if you've got some fantasies or something that you haven't acted out, who knows? It may be that those will come up for you. On the other side of that, like I said initially, I think there might be a tendency for you to feel entitled to love, entitled to being waited on, entitled to someone doing things for you, or entitled to being intimate. Entitlement is not attractive, okay? So just watch out for that on the 20th, because you might cause a little bit of conflict with the people in your life because you've got this sense of, hey, you owe me something. And that is not good. That is not something that most people say, oh yes, I do owe you something. How can I immediately fulfill your desires and dreams? People don't do that. They're like, oh yeah? What do I owe you, really? So just be aware of that and like rein that in a little bit, because no one likes to be put upon that way. On the 23rd, there's another T-square, which is a great area of motivation with a solution in it. And that, right, the solution to that kind of energy that I've just mentioned is by listening to your feelings and by being considerate of other people. That kind of mitigates that sense of me first. Think about other people, and then that will help you navigate that. It's not easy, you know, if you feel like I deserve this, that's a one-track type of mindset, and it's hard to sometimes come off that. On the 24th of August, there's a grand trine in fire in your chart. Another day for you to really have another kickstart, another jump forward in terms of your financial life. And that's by listening to your own unique ideas. If you're sitting in a boardroom meeting and people are brainstorming, throwing ideas out, your idea is going to be hugely important. If you're self-employed, the idea for the new product that you can launch today is hugely important and is going to hugely make you more money straight away. It's not going to have a long turnaround period. It's going to be instantly successful. On the 28th, Mercury goes into Libra. And that happens right at the bottom of your chart, near your IC, your roots. And Mercury has been, for the bulk of the month, it's been in Virgo, so you've been very clipped and very precise. You know, even as I'm saying it, it's very, very thin-lipped, okay? But Mercury now in Libra is much more focused on harmony. So you speak in a way that is much more pleasing to other people, especially family members are going to be totally thrilled with you at this time of the month, end of the month. And I think it's a great day to build bridges. You come across very well, people respond to you very well, especially those nearest and dearest to you. If you've had an argument or if you've lost contact or fallen out with someone, 28th is a great time to rebuild those bridges and to reconnect. The full moon occurs now at the end of the month on the 29th of August, and that's in Pisces, right on top of your chart in the 9th house. And this is interesting because you have been exploring and you have been kind of learning new things about yourself, and your dreams have become true. Your dreams have been coming true. And I told you to travel during the month, but I'd like you to think of this whole month as learn as much as you can, be inspired by external things as much as you can, especially spiritual things, because I really think your horizons broaden much more, and I think you start to discover aspects of life that you really haven't been aware of before. Neptune, the dream planet, kind of comes down and it puts its fog over you in terms of your mind, and the harsh edges are kind of submerged, and you can really just float along and dream along and really discover magical new areas of life that you haven't been aware of. So this full moon in Pisces for you, it's, you know, you're a water sign, Pisces is a water sign, feels very harmonious to you, it feels very spiritual, it feels like a time to go within, to stop chatting so much and to really discover the magical, unseen facets of life. So this is a really, again, the full moon is a great time to discover about yourself, particularly Cancer. I think you get the most answers out of anybody this month, out of the signs of the zodiac. Now, at the end of the month, there's a yod, okay, and that happens again with your finances in the front row seat of all of this. Right, so all of this self-discovery that you've been doing, it's not just for your spiritual progress and it's not just for your financial progress. Both of those things bounce off each other. So because you've got more financial security in your life, you've got more time to explore spirituality. Because you've become more spiritual and you're listening to the guidance via the universe, you're taking divinely guided action, 444, that then helps you have more, to achieve more. So it's a rebirth. So really balance those two aspects of life and continue to do both to have the best month possible. And it looks like a fabulous month for you. So that's it. If you'd like any further information, or if you'd like a private reading with me to see how your specific natal chart is affected by all of this, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Have a look at the readings tab on there and you'll see the types of readings that I offer. And remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel, please. It helps these videos actually be seen. And if you want to find me on Facebook, you can. It's facebook.com/Gregory Scott 444. Have a fantastic August, and I'll speak to you soon.